Hello and welcome everyone. In this video we will learn how Tyrion Lannister uses the Canary trap to detect a spy, Queen Cercei's spy specifically. He suspects 3 people, Grand Meister Pycelle, Varys and Littlefinger, so he decides to test each one separately.
Oh, thank the gods. I haven't had a proper shit in 6 days.
I've encountered this problem before, my lord. The stresses of power often have this insalubrious effect.
First thing here is when Tyrion calls for Pycelle, he makes sure he calls him for medical treatment. It's expected because Pycelle is a Meister, meaning people around them won't be suspicious or ask questions. It won't be considered as a calculated separate event. He didn't need the medicine, it was an excuse. Now Tyrion thanks and praises the Meister and asks him to sit.
I can trust you, Pycelle, can I not?
Why, yes, of course, my lord.
These are perilous times, and the Crown must forge new alliances.
Tyrion asks if he can trust Pycelle. His body language is hesitant, looking down, as vulnerable as a person who is worried of being betrayed. He lays down things before sharing his plan. Asks Pycelle not to share this with the Queen specifically. Pycelle accepts, and then Tyrion commences. Now Tyrion shares that he will wed Princess Myrcella, the Queen's daughter, to a young prince from House Dorne. Remember this one. Pycelle is surprised by Tyrion's proposal. After this, we don't really see the rest of the scene.
But remember, the Queen mustn't know.
Ooh, the Queen mustn't know. I love conversations that begin this way.
I plan to marry Princess Myrcella off to Theon Greyjoy.
Theon Greyjoy.
He goes through the same thing with Varys, except that he changes the name of the future groom to Theon Greyjoy. You can tell Varys was disappointed, which gave the impression that maybe he knew it was a trap. He tried to reason Tyrion out of it, but decided to drop the whole thing.
But remember, you must tell no one.
Tell no one what?
I plan to wed Princess Myrcella to Robin Arryn of the Vale.
Next is this scene with Littlefinger. He told Littlefinger that he will marry the princess to Robin Arryn this time. Littlefinger shared his concern, but Tyrion appealed to his opportunism and pragmatism. This video focuses on the trap rather than Tyrion's persuasive methods, which can be discussed in a future video. Now, after setting the Canary trap, Tyrion will wait patiently for which version of the secret will reach Cercei. Now the best thing to do when waiting is keeping his mouth shut, because that's how ploys are ruined. As he expected, Cercei discovered the secret.
Born for this.
I will not let you ship her off to Dorne as I was shipped off to Robert Baratheon.
And Tyrion learned who ratted him out. And the winner is...
No, please.
You disappoint me, Grand Maester.
Hey Tyrion, what do you do to rats?
Cut off his manhood and feed it to the goats.
Now what is the Canary trap? The barium meal test or the Canary trap is a method of exposing a leak of information by sharing different versions of a sensitive rumor, secret or document to each of several suspects, and then noticing which version gets leaked. These documents often contain a specific wording in order to see if the suspect will repeat them verbatim. So maybe the person devising this trap can use a thesaurus to make each version unique, for example. This can be done in personal or business emails or reports. It can be done in normal conversations as we have seen with Tyrion. The key variable in this case was the groom's name. Now let's see another example from the season 3 of The Mentalist. Now Patrick Jane, the main character, was hunting an informant of the man who killed his wife and kid, Red John. He arrived at 4 suspects, in addition to the man who gave him this information. 5 suspects in total.
Brenda Shetrick, CBI Media Relations. Assistant DA Osvaldo Ardiles. Gail Bertram, Bureau Director. And Craig O'Loughlin.
The informant's job was to get to the location of an ex-head of the police department in order to kill her. Her name was Hightower. Knowing the informant's target, Jane used this to his advantage. He gave each suspect the number of a room in the same hotel in order to know which room will be attacked. Now the rooms were on different floors to avoid mix-up. The trap succeeded at luring the assassin, but the police moved too quickly before she could get to the right location, ending in her suicide. Ultimately, the trick still helped Jane identify the informant later on. The variable can be anything, in this case it was the room number. Similarly, in 2003, Saddam Hussein suspected that one of his closest staff members betrayed him and is secretly working with the US government. Saddam escaped getting killed by telling each of his staff members that he will be hiding in a specific house. After one of those houses got destroyed, he knew who was the informant, and that informant was never seen again. The trick might seem simple to you, but can be really powerful with a little bit of imagination and discretion. There was a case where Elon Musk, the world's richest person at the moment, tried to set a trap like this but failed. So back in 2008, Tesla known several leaks of important information that got Elon really pissed. So he decided to send slightly altered versions of an email to suspected leakers. The email was camouflaged as a request for signing a non-disclosure agreement, but his plan was backfired by the general counsel, who accidentally forwarded his own unique version of the email with the attached agreement. Now everyone had a safe copy to leak to the media if they wanted to. This maneuver created an atmosphere of suspicion in the workplace. In the NBA, Joe Dumars, Detroit Pistons president of basketball operations, was fined $500,000 in 2010 for leaking information to Yahoo. He got caught using the same trap. NBA spread different versions of the same document to each team. Now you can use this trick in your own life. Let's say every time you organize a private meeting with your friends, someone you didn't invite shows up, and all your friends deny inviting them. Find the leak by sharing a specific and different time with each one of your suspects. Tell person A that the meeting will be around 4 p.m. Tell person B it will be around 5 p.m. and C will be around 6 p.m. And wait. Your goal should be to try to minimize the suspects before you set the trap, to make it really efficient, in order to set an effective trap. In certain times, if a person suspects that a new recruit is an experienced and sharp spy in their camp, they might have to share important information to catch him or her. For example, they might reveal the name of one of their own non-important informants in the competition's camp. If they notice some kind of change, they will know that they have a spy on their hands. The unit might lose their informant, but they will unmask or stop the enemy's informant from inflicting serious damage to their business. Sun Tzu called these sacrificed informants doomed spies, the ones you sacrifice to deceive the enemy. Now much can be learned from the world of counterintelligence. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button and check this video over here. I'll see you there.